Hi, it's Super Videos back at you for another video. This is going to be the review for issue 156 of The Walking Dead, titled Queen and King. Now, this video is a bit late. I know the issue came out on Wednesday, but I was away, so I couldn't put up the review until now. But without further ado, let's start the review. So, there was a lot of hype for this particular issue based on the cover and the name. And as the name and the cover suggests, there's one of two possibilities that could happen. Either Negan was going to, or it looks like Negan is hugging Alpha and embracing her and accepting her as the queen and himself being the king. Or there's a flip side to it, and that is that Negan is actually stabbing Alpha and Alpha is dead. Now, obviously, there were people who thought it was the first. Myself, I believe that it wasn't simply Negan hugging Alpha because they always do misdirect us with these covers. Now, this was a great example of how they misdirected us because for some people, they never saw this coming. They never saw the events coming. Now, before going any further, just letting you know that this video does contain spoilers for issue 156, so make sure you read it, and by now I'm pretty sure everyone has read it. Make sure you read it before you continue watching the video. Now, I'm going to have a separate video describing where we go on from here in the Whisper War arc and what this event leads to, because we have to reimagine everything we've predicted based on the events of this issue. But that's going to be a separate video of its own, so look for that, and I'm going to post it right after this, so watch out for that video. Let's get started with the review. So we start by, Beta saying, I don't approve of this, and obviously showing that he does have some dominance over Alpha to a degree. And then obviously, we still don't know the relationship between Beta and Alpha, but it looks like they are very close. But, as it's revealed further down, that Beta does not want to challenge Alpha in any way. Beta is telling Alpha that Negan needed to be killed, and Alpha obviously didn't kill Negan right away, and the question still remains. What does Alpha see in Negan that makes her not want to kill Negan? Is there some spark from Alpha's side romantically, or is she just playing Negan? But obviously, we go down, Beta says, no, I'm not challenging you. He kneels and he says, I will never challenge you. You're the Alpha. I don't want to be leader. You're the leader. And Alpha says, it's okay. You can leave. You're forgiven. And then I love this. Negan just quickly, it's like he's improvising. He quickly understands that, okay, that's what I need to do. Then he kind of thinks about it for a second because he says that's cool. And then he kneels in front of Alpha and says the exact same phrase Beta told Alpha. And then obviously Alpha's like, yeah, you're forgiven, but Negan's manipulating her and he doesn't actually mean what he's doing. I like what they did with Negan right there because he improvised quickly. It's like he knew if he did this, he could take control again. He could follow through. And he may even be able to get closer to Alpha in this way. And then we go down the pages, and basically what we see is Negan saying, I want to prove myself to you, and I want to understand your lifestyle. I want to understand everything you do. And then time passes. We see him working with them, helping them, transporting goods, and it looks like it's food, but I'm not quite sure. But they're moving something. Maybe they're moving their camp. And then we see Negan hunt, and then he kills a pig, and he screams. And it's funny how right away, the next page, we see Negan's trying to tell Alpha, I know, I understand. They don't call you Whisperers because you scream. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have screamed. And it's like he's at the principal's office and he's just trying to apologize for his actions. And then, we keep going. It's like he's getting closer to these people. He's understanding their lifestyle even more. And then he's attacked. But the Whisperers don't do anything. They just wait. And it's like they want him to prove himself. And Negan doesn't disappoint. And he obviously um, proves himself, kills the walkers, and proves to Alpha that he can do this, he uh, that he can become a part of their group, a respected part of the group, and someone who helps around and is strong enough to take care of himself. And then we see then sometimes passing again. They're eating, they're together, and it's cool how Negan is invited to sit with Alpha there. Alpha's like, I want to sit with him, I want to eat with him. It just shows how, in maybe a short amount of time, maybe a couple of weeks, how Negan was able to get close to Alpha in such a way to grab her attention and become a big part of her life to some degree. And then, we see Negan, he's walking around at night, and then boom, he sees what looks like two men, two of the Whisperers, attempting to rape one of the girls in that camp. Now, obviously, Negan does not tolerate this. And even if we were not sure about his thoughts about rape by this point, now we're definitely sure because he just punches the two men, knocks them down, and he's like, "What are you doing?" Cusses them out. And it's revealed that, it's not just business for him. It's not like he doesn't want to rape because of business, because it's bad for business. But he actually does not believe in it. He actually thinks it's disgusting. And then obviously Beta comes, knocks him down. He's like, "Stay down, don't move." And at this point, it's a point in the issue where I was like, "Oh my god, where are they going to go from here? They're just going to kill Negan right away. What's going to happen?" And then we see that it's more like a chess game. And it's like they're diplomatically talking to each other, saying their stuff and why they think the other is wrong. And it's cool how Negan says this is not civilized. Coming from Negan, that's a little humorous. But at the same time, he does prove that, to some degree, he is not a monster, but he's just surviving. Where he thinks that the Whispers are monsters and they shouldn't do this to survive. This is going too far. And, the conversation going on for a while, and it clicks with Negan that Alpha is weak because she starts crying, she starts breaking down, and Negan, understands that this is his chance to control the situation, to take control. Now, he does obviously say that I don't want to take control of the Whisperers, but I think that's more to surprise Alpha and to get her when she least expects it. And then they talk, and boom, the ending. It was pretty amazing. It was mind blowing. Um, and it was something, um, even for people who saw it coming, it was boom. It was surprising. Negan slashes Alpha's throat, and then he said, "I don't want to be here." And at this point, before we even move down to the next page, over to the next page, it appears that Negan is going to help Rick. And he's like, "I don't want to be here. I was just here to do this, to kill you." But when we go to the next page, um, where he basically is cutting her head, and then in the last page we see Negan say, "Wait until Rick gets a look at you." Now, this means one of two things. One, that Rick is going to be happy and he's going to trust me now that I have your head there taking to him. Or what if he means takes a look at you, meaning your face, which means that, you know, he, now think about it, he didn't kill her by stabbing her in the head. So she's going to come back as a walker. So what if he skins her head, and he's obviously had um, experience with it because he's been doing it for a while now, as we saw, time pass, and he's been with them. So what if he skins her head or skins her face and puts her on, and then leads the Whisperers to war and becomes the new leader of the Whisperers? Now, Beta being there, there are still some things that are not in the right place, but we're going to discuss this in the prediction for what's to come for the Whisper War. But for now, it could go one of two ways, and we're still not quite sure where Negan is at this point. Is he going to be with the Whisperers and help the Whisperers, or is he going to go to Alexandria, go to Rick? This was a very good issue. It was very nicely done. It had humor. It had great dialogue, great character development, great reveals. Overall, it was a great issue. I would give it a high grade rating. Issue 156. It was great. It blew my mind. That's it for this review. Make sure to check out the prediction for the Whisper War, and I'm gonna talk in depth about what's to come based on the covers we have for the next two issues. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back for the next review.